House come to order. Members, proceed to your seats. Will the members please rise for the invocation delivered by Pastor Les Whitlock, First Corinthian Baptist Church of Frankfort, Kentucky, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
May we pray. Most gracious Heavenly Father, which art in heaven, Lord, we thank you for your grace and your mercy. Dear Lord, may you guide and allow this body of legislative servants to fulfill the law-making obligation you have blessed them to perform. Lord, as they approach the end of this session, let them and the citizens of this great commonwealth be mindful of your word in Psalms 46 and 1, which says, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. May these words remind both the legislators and citizens that our connection with you, our God, will keep us safe. And when we are weak, Lord, you are always strong. Oh, Lord, our strength and our Redeemer, I ask that your support and divine encouragement be given to these men and women whom you have called to represent the citizens of this specific district. Help them, O Lord, to examine their heart and be encouraged by your spiritual truth that you have shared with us in Ecclesiastes 3, which is said, I know that there is nothing better for people than to be happy and to do good while they live. Oh Lord, I pray the work that will be done and completed this legislative session will help all Kentuckians to live a more balanced and grateful life in this often unbalanced world. Dear God, I thank you for the opportunity to pray for these distinguished men and women whom you have given great human wisdom and achievement. May they continue to work diligently while all seeking your wisdom and guidance. Now, Lord, let your Holy Spirit fall afresh on my Governor Anthony Beshear, our House Speaker David Osborne, Speaker Pro Tem David Meade, Lieutenant Governor Jacqueline Coleman, all legislators, Supreme Court justices, and everyone in the sound of the voice you're giving here today. United we stand, divided we fall. Forgive us of our sins. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless you.
Clerk will sound the chimes. Members indicate your presence. Clerk will take the roll. Being 97 members indicating their presence, quorum is declared and the House is ready to proceed. Next order of business, the excuse of absent members. Gentleman from Taylor.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that the absent members be excused in accordance with the House rules.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from Taylor.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend the rules for the purpose of allowing members to co-sponsor bills and resolutions or to submit vote modifications and have filed the proper papers with the clerk to do so.
Without objection, so ordered. Next order of business, the approval of the journal. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that the journal from Friday, March 6, 2026 be approved.
Without objection, the journal from Friday, March 6, 2026 is approved. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I ask that the clerk report any communications from the Governor of the Commonwealth.
Without objection, clerk, please report.
Veto message from the Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky regarding House Bill 314 of the 2026 regular session. I, Andy Beshear, Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, pursuant to the authority granted under Section 88 of the Kentucky Constitution, do hereby veto House Bill 314 of the 2026 regular session of the General Assembly in its entirety.
Next order of business, second reading of bills. There being no need. Next order of business, report of committees. There being no need. Next order of business is the orders of the day. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Bill 314 be taken from the Committee on Rules and placed in the orders of the day for consideration of the Governor's veto.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Bill 314 be taken from its place in the orders of the day for consideration of the Governor's veto and motions related thereto.
Without objection, so ordered. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 314, an act relating to the Kentucky Communications Network Authority and declaring an emergency. Representative Lockett.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, would you please have the clerk report the veto message on House Bill 314?
Clerk, please report.
Governor's veto message.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move for final passage of House Bill 314, the veto of the governor notwithstanding.
Question before the body is final passage of House Bill 314, the governor's veto notwithstanding. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 78 members voting aye and 19 members voting nay, House Bill 314 is finally passed, the governor's veto notwithstanding. Gentleman from McCracken.
Move the clincher.
Without objection, it is clinched. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Bill 677 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for a third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that House Bill 677 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 677, an act relating to geologic sequestration of carbon dioxide. Representative Gooch.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Webster for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Webster for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could you have the clerk report House Committee Amendment 1, please?
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Amendment 1 to House Bill 677.
Gentleman from Webster.
The House Committee Amendment 1 it just makes some changes about after 50 years. It's written in federal law as to who's responsible for any damages or leakage that may have occurred when some of these sequestration projects have gone over 50 years. We did get agreement with all parties on this particular committee amendment. So, Mr. Speaker, I would move adoption of House Committee Amendment 1.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Amendment 1. Is there any discussion of the committee amendment? Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jefferson 46 for discussion of the committee amendment.
Mr. Speaker, would the sponsor yield to a question?
He will yield.
sponsor, generally in support of this bill, and I just want to make sure on the committee amendment there's nothing that deals with the state rock or state mineral.
Gentleman from Webster.
I did make an attempt to include that, but I was quickly overridden by staff as it was not germane.
Gentleman from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am in support of this bill and committee.
Motion is for the adoption of Committee Amendment 1. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Those opposed, nay. House Committee Amendment 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Webster.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, House Bill 677 is a comprehensive permitting program for Class 6 injection wells, which are carbon sequestration wells. It's needed to allow Kentucky to obtain primacy from U.S. EPA for permitting of these wells. We've done that for other things as far as water permits and air permits. And what this may do, it would this legislation, let me say first, was developed by the Kentucky Oil and Gas Work Group, which consists of the industry, oil and gas, the Energy Environment Cabinet, and other environmental and consumer advocates. And so this is something I'm always proud of when these groups come together after 18 months of working together and try to solve some problems out there. And it would be very beneficial for Kentucky to be able to have primacy in permitting these. We think there will be maybe some jobs and some projects out there that would bring economic development to the state of Kentucky. And so we think that it will be a good thing. As you all know, there are a lot of things out there that emit carbon, a lot of factories, concrete kennels, other things. And it's a good idea when we can to be able to capture and sequester the carbon underground. And the people that have the permits to sequester this carbon are in many ways responsible. They're not allowed to they have to monitor it. They have to grant the permits, or the cabinet has to grant the permits, and so it's something that they will look at as this process continues. But at the end of 50 years, then federal law states that they have to look at it and see if there have been issues, and if so, who is responsible. So with that, if there are no further questions, I would move for passage of House Bill 677 as amended by House Committee Amendment 1.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 677 as amended by House Committee Amendment 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. 98 members voting aye, no members voting nay. House Bill 677, as amended by House Committee Amendment 1, is passed. Gentleman from Webster.
I move the clincher.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Bill 669 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for a third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion is made and seconded that House Bill 669 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 669, an act relating to child welfare. Representative Meade.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Lincoln for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Lincoln for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could you have the clerk please report House Committee Substitute 1?
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to House Bill 669.
Gentleman from Lincoln.
Move adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Lincoln.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What House Bill 669 does in the committee substituted form is correct a potential injustice to some of our children in the child welfare system. If they're in foster care right now, the cabinet, if that child receives some type of Social Security benefit, whether that's a qualified disability benefit, could be a veteran education benefit, or a dependent benefit owed from a parent, more than likely, though, it is a survivor benefit that is owed to the child. If that is the case and they receive any type of benefit like that, the cabinet can take that money and say that they're reimbursing themselves for the care of that child in the child welfare system. We don't do this with any other children in the system. It's only if they have those benefits coming to them. Those are benefits that are supposed to be there for the care in the future of that child when they graduate from school, go to college, whatever it may be. So what we've said in this bill is that the cabinet must, if they believe that that child is eligible or may be eligible, then they have to apply for those benefits on behalf of the child. If the child receives those benefits or already is receiving those benefits, it would then go into some type of savings account for that child. The child will then go through a milestone program where when they reach certain milestones, whether that's obtaining a driver's license, graduating from high school, enrolling in college, maintaining employment, or leaving the system, then that money it comes to the child. It would be in stages up to the point of them leaving the system when they hit those milestones. But when they leave the system, that money would come to them in their account. That's basically all we are doing in this bill. And as they're going through, one thing I left out is they're going through that program, they do also have to go through a financial literacy program to understand how best to use their money. So with that, Mr. Speaker, I would move for passage of House Bill 669 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 669 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. There being 98 members voting aye, no members voting nay, House Bill 669, as amended by House Committee Substitute 1, is passed. Gentleman from Lincoln.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the clincher.
Without objection, clincher is applied. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Bill 713 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for a third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that House Bill 713 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 713, an act relating to workplace violence against healthcare professionals. Representative Nemus.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Jefferson 33 for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jefferson 33 for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to ask the clerk to report House Committee Substitute 1.
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to House Bill 713.
Gentleman from Jefferson.
Move adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A few years ago, we passed a law that required postings and trainings for healthcare facilities. Violence against healthcare workers is increasing steadily, and we are returning to the question to improve the situation. This bill requires each of the healthcare facilities to make an attestation that they are doing several things. They are meeting the standards of their accrediting organization with respect to workplace violence. They are training on workplace violence to their new workers, that they have internal reporting systems that they're letting their employees know about, that they clearly prohibit retaliation of anyone who makes a report of such violence, and that they periodically review the incidents of workplace violence. We also, in this bill, we are requiring the healthcare facilities to post notices that violence against healthcare workers will have consequences up to and including potential felonies if appropriate. Mr. Speaker, this bill was drafted with me alongside the Kentucky Nurses Association and Hospital Association. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I move passage of House Bill 713 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 713 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 98 members voting aye, no members voting nay, House Bill 713 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 is passed. Gentleman from Jefferson.
Move the clincher.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Bill 685 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for a third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that House Bill 685 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 685, an act relating to teacher certification. Representative Riley.
Gentleman from McCracken.
I yield to the gentleman from Barron for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Barron for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If I could have the clerk report House Committee Substitute 1.
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to House Bill 685.
Gentleman from Barron.
Move for passage. Oh, you do that.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Barron.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill is in two parts. The first part is basically this. Right now, if a teacher leaves the profession for various reasons, that could be to raise a family, to change professions, illness, whatever the reason may be, and that period of time lapses at 5 years, if the teacher desires to get back into the profession, they are required to take 6 hours of college credit. And that 6 hours of college credit could be in anything. So I think it is best in the best teacher's interest and also the state that teacher be allowed to come back into that profession without taking those 6 hours, because all that does is take time and benefits from away from that teacher reentering the profession. So that's the first part of the bill. The second part of the bill, the committee substitute, I will yield to the lady from Scott to explain that portion.
Chair recognizes the lady from Scott.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me begin by thanking the gentleman from Barron and the gentleman from Ohio for including language from House Bill 261 into the House Committee substitute on House Bill 685. The committee sub would enter Kentucky into the Interstate Compact for school psychologists, helping remedy a shortage of these critical school personnel. In some of our rural counties, vacancies for school psychologists go unfilled for years at a time. We know that Marshall University in West Virginia has a reputable school psychologist program and that West Virginia is already a member of this Interstate Compact. Attracting school psychologists from outside Kentucky whose states are members of this compact is essential to ensuring that students with special needs or learning disabilities get the that they need. I yield back to the gentleman from Barron at this time.
Gentleman from Barron.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If we could have the clerk report House Floor Amendment 1.
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to House Bill 685.
Gentleman from Barron.
Mr. Speaker, basically House Floor Amendment 1 is just some cleanup language for House Committee Substitute 1. At this time, I would ask for passage of House Bill 685. Move for adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion? Lady from Kitten 63, do you wish to discuss the amendment or the bill? Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Those in favor signify by voting aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Barron.
At this time, Mr. Speaker, if we could pass House Bill 685 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 and House Floor Amendment 1.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 685 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 and House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 98 members voting aye, no members voting nay, House Bill 685 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1 and House Floor Amendment 1 is passed. Gentleman from Barron.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If we could have the clerk report House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment.
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Amendment 1, the title amendment to House Bill 685.
Gentleman from Barron.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move for the clincher. I move adoption of the title amendment.
Without objection, title amendment is adopted. Gentleman from Barron.
There's too many variables to this amendment. Now move for the passage of House Bill clincher. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
It is clinched. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Bill 227 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for a third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that House Bill 227 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 227, an act relating to addictive online platforms. Representative Lockett.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Jessamine for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jessamine for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would you please have the clerk report House Committee Substitute 1?
Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to House Bill 227.
Gentleman from Jessamine.
I move adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion of the committee substitute? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Jessamine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would you please have the clerk report House Floor Amendment 1?
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 1 to House Bill 227.
Gentleman from Jessamine.
I move adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 1. Is there any discussion of the floor amendment? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Jessamine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield to the gentleman from McCracken 1 for a floor amendment.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from McCracken 1.
Mr. Speaker, would you have the clerk report House Floor Amendment number 6?
Clerk, please report.
House Floor Amendment 6 to House Bill 227.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Move adoption.
Motion is for the adoption of House Floor Amendment 6. Is there any discussion of the floor amendment? Seeing none, those in favor signify by voting aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. House Floor Amendment 6 is adopted. Gentleman from Jessamine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The bill that we now have before us is House Bill 227. Australia, Denmark, France, Papua New Guinea, Greece, China, India have all banned social media use for those under the age of 15. And other nations, including Norway, the UK, and several other EU nations, are heavily debating or advancing legislation to introduce similar bans or to restrict age limits on these sites. All of these countries have one thing in common, and it's that they see the destructive nature of social media on our children and see that it is in their country's best interest to restrict its usage. I know that we all can see social media's harm to children that is well documented. First, They all have an addictive design, and a brain exposed frequently to social media, it closely resembles a brain hooked on the highly addictive drugs. Second, social media use causes declines in mental health and increases self-harm and suicidal thoughts. Third, social media algorithms quickly pull kids down dangerous holes of drug-related or sexual content. And every day, as many as 100,000 children receive sexual harassment on these social media platforms, including sextortion and obscene things. Here in the United States, we aren't outright banning usage of social media by minors, although some might believe that we should. But, however, there also have been many states that have attempted to protect children from social media, and they've all failed. 100% of the bills that have been passed have been struck down in courts. Arkansas, California, Florida, Ohio, Louisiana, and Utah have all been enjoined. These laws enable a one and done evasion, and they certainly raise free speech concerns. House Bill 227 is different. It builds on existing legal precedent to ensure that the law both protects kids and can survive possible challenges in court, and only applies to social media platforms that generated over $1 billion in advertising revenue for one of the preceding 3 years. HB 227 relies on age estimation instead of age verification. It requires platforms to use the same technology that they are already using to analyze, addict, and monetize our kids. These large social media companies are currently estimating a user's age and then selling that data to be included in the user's feed. Here are some corporate quotes. Facebook says that they apply sophisticated AI frameworks to existing data to identify those age groups based on a user's interactions with other profiles and content. Instagram invites advertisers to specify the age of users who will see their ads within single-year increments. We even have examples of abortion ads on Instagram that are targeted to teenage girls. TikTok infers attributes, including age, based on information we have about a user, including their activity on TikTok. HB 227 is 100% content neutral, because laws that restrict certain types of content face tough legal hurdles under the First Amendment. Instead, 227 focuses on restricting the addictive technological aspects of social media that are harmful to children. HB 227 requires platforms to refine or correct their age for users. And HB 227 makes kids less attractive to social media platforms. So, Mr. Speaker, simply put, House Bill 227 protects our kids, it protects parental rights, it protects free speech, and it holds big tech companies liable in the event they don't follow the law. Our own Attorney General is a big supporter of House Bill 227 and has found no First Amendment concerns and is ready to defend this legislation in court if challenged. So, Mr. Speaker, I move for passage of House Bill 227 as amended by House Committee Substitute 1, House Floor Amendment 1, and House Floor Amendment 6.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 227 is amended by House Committee Substitute 1, House Floor Amendment 1, and House Floor Amendment 6. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Campbell 67 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I speak on this bill, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Look, I'd like to thank the gentleman from Jessamine for his work on this bill. I don't want to overstate things, but this may be the most impactful legislation we passed this session. It's hard to get the balance right with new technologies and speech issues and other freedom issues, but I just got to say, look, we listened to this testimony initially over the summer in the AI task force, so I know you've been working on this for some time. I also sit on the Small Business and IT Committee where we heard this bill before coming to the floor. I mean, if you didn't see it or you weren't there, I mean, by the end of the testimony on this bill in committee, I was angry. I got really, really angry. I mean, we have multi-billion-dollar, even trillion-dollar now, Silicon Valley companies harming and killing our kids just to make a buck. They had the audacity, they sent these high-priced lobbyists, I mean, they couldn't even show up. They dial in by Zoom and they're nitpicking about this and complaining about that, offering no solutions whatsoever. I mean, let's be clear, X, Snapchat, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I mean, these platforms have made their investors very rich. These companies have the resources, they have the best engineers in the world to fix the problem, and they refuse. I mean, that committee meeting, I felt like whenever year that was when the tobacco company executives lied to Congress about the addictiveness of their cigarettes. They're trying to tell us Joe Camel wasn't targeting kids. Gentleman from Jessamine, I actually made notes on this, so, I'm not even talking off the top of my head, but, you've talked about, I mean, what's happened to the kids over the last 10 years, mental health issues, suicide. I won't go over that again, but we'd have to be clear. I mean, these systems, these platforms, they're using behavioral psychology. I mean, they've actually hired consultants that work in casino and gambling industries to addict people. They use tools like infinite scrolling, autoplay videos, algorithmic feeds, push notifications, likes and follower counts. I mean, behavioral scientists have looked at this. I mean, they say that these social media platforms are like slot machines. I mean, they are meant to keep our kids scrolling and returning. I mean, we regulate slot machines. We prohibit minors from using them. We regulate tobacco marketing to minors. We regulate alcohol advertising to minors. But right now, the most powerful behavioral influence systems ever created operate inside the phones of our children in this country with almost no guardrails. And House Bill 227 begins to change that. It defines what these addictive design features are and does not allow them to be used for children's social media feeds. It regulates product design. It does not regulate speech or content or viewpoints. It ensures these products are safe. So the question before us is simple. Should we allow companies to deploy psychologically manipulative engagement systems on children without any accountability? And this bill says it should not. My only issue with this bill, and I've talked to the gentleman from Jessamine quite a bit about this, is that the current bill provides that any parent or guardian may create or maintain an account for a child on one of these platforms with harmful features. And, I certainly believe parents play, the central role in raising their children. But the issue here is whether corporations should be allowed to design products that exploit children's psychology. I mean, these platforms are engineered to capture attention and override impulse control. I mean, even I struggle with it when I'm on Facebook. I'm sure many of you do. I mean, that is why we set guardrails for products like tobacco, gambling, and alcohol. You know, the truth is we have parents working 2 jobs, don't always have time to know what's going on. Some kids don't have parents that are as attentive as they should be. And we risk setting up a lot of tension in our schools and our communities when kids will have these some of them will have these toxic apps on their phones and others won't be allowed to. Look, I had drafted House Floor Amendment number 3 to remove parental consent from this bill. I firmly believe allowing parental consent in this context risks becoming a loophole that platforms can encourage through frictionless approval systems. I do believe removing parental consent would create a clear and enforceable standard that children should not, even with parental consent, be placed inside environments designed to exploit their attention and shape their development. But I am actually going to leave this to another day. You know, the balance of these things are really hard to get right. I think that even with my House Floor Amendment 3, I think it would have potentially caused some conflicts in the bill that would have made this more difficult to defend in court. But I do look forward to working on this continuously with this bill sponsor through the interim. And we'll continue to work on the balance and get it right. But I unequivocally encourage everyone to vote yes on this bill today. Thank you.
Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 32 for discussion of the matter.
May I ask the sponsor a question?
He will yield.
So the social media account I see my young kids in school talking about the most is YouTube. Would YouTube be covered under this as a social media app?
Gentleman from Jessamine.
Yes, they would.
Lady from Jefferson.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 41 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a question and a comment.
He will yield to a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentlemen, you might have already told me this, but how are we going to enforce these platforms to follow the rules, number one? And I'm looking at civil penalties are like $5,000 and $10,000. And to these billion-dollar companies that the gentleman from Boone talked about, where I don't know where you're from, Kenton, wherever you're from, these billion-dollar companies are not going to blink an eye at a $5,000 penalty. So, do you think that's enough? And how are they going to be enforced?
Gentleman from Jessamine.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for those questions. They're enforced by 2 ways. One, from our Attorney General. 2, by federal law. And 3, any parent can always sue a company for not following the law. In terms of if it's enough, in terms of those, that would be up to the Attorney General. The parent can sue for more. I'm with you in terms of they've got deep pockets. And so that would be left up to the courts.
Lady from Jefferson.
Can I have one follow-up question? Thank
you.
So, will the Attorney General's office, will they have to create, or do they already have a cybersecurity, or is that what this would be under? So someone would be doing surveillance of these platforms?
Gentleman from Jessamine.
They, yes, they do that already, but it would also be upon an action from a citizen to the Attorney General's office.
Lady from Jefferson 41.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just briefly comment. This is a good bill. I'm glad we're starting here. Wish the fines were a little bit more, but my seatmate and I were talking. He's got little kids, 3 and 4.
2 and 4. Yeah.
2 and 4, and I have 2 nephews that are 3 and 4, and they're already addicted to their phones. I pick up the 3 and 4-year-old, and the first thing they want is my phone to start playing games. 4 years old. And I think somewhere along the line we've got to return them to outdoor play and physical play and coloring books or something. But I'm glad you're starting this. Hopefully we can make sure that folks and families and parents know how dangerous this is. So thank you.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Fayette 45 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield to a question?
He will yield.
Thank you. Gentleman from Jessamine, I know you've already said it's a delicate balance to make this work right, and my good friend from Campbell said the same thing. Going to have to probably massage it some more to go through the other side of this chamber. Are you committed to keep working on this moving forward, potentially in future sessions and years, as well as the landscape of social media and what is out there continues to change, and we need to continue protecting our youth?
Gentleman from Jessamine.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. The short answer to that would be yes. And as you mentioned, sir, the landscape in social media is ever changing. It is certainly fluid. One of the key points about House Bill 227 is that it bans the advertising to minors, and so it truly removes that financial incentive from the companies to actually have the minors on the platform. But yes, in terms of working in the future, 100%, I believe this is a great starting point. This is a place that we can begin to work. And I believe it's incumbent upon us as Kentuckians, but also on the General Assembly, to continue in the protection of our children in whatever ways that we need to do that.
Gentleman from Fayette.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jefferson 42 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The gentleman yield to a question.
He will yield.
Gentlemen, I asked this question in committee as well, and I just want to do so on the floor just for the record, but to specifically talk about some of the targeting, algorithmic targeting that happens on social media platforms. I believe that the same targeting happens on streaming platforms as well. Now, it's my understanding from the committee conversation that we had that this is just a starting point, and it's the intention to look at all sort of digital services that tend to deploy the same tactics for attention. Is my understanding still correct?
Gentleman from Jessamine.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes, I would say that is correct. I believe right now we are starting with social media, and as the internet changes, as online platforms change, again, it's incumbent upon us to stay on top of that and protect our kids.
Gentleman from Jefferson.
Briefly, speak on the bill.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that answer, gentlemen. And I agree. And I admit in committee I was a bit confused on some of the technical language, but I certainly agree on social media that our kids are exposed to way too much. I think the same thing applies to streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, Prime, you name it. They have the same auto looping features. They have the same ad features. It was just the other day I was watching a show on Amazon Prime, and an ad came up to buy something that came through from a commercial, and I thought that was the most interesting thing. I did not buy it, but I'd be cautious and concerned about what our kids are experiencing on all of these same streaming services, which are owned in some cases by the exact same companies that we're talking about right now. So I support this bill, and I appreciate your explanations of the questions that I've had thus far. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 227 is amended by House Committee Substitute 1, House Floor Amendment 1, and House Floor Amendment 6. Clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 96 members voting aye, no members voting nay, House Bill 227, as amended by House Committee Substitute 1, House Floor Amendment 1, and House Floor Amendment 6, is passed. Gentleman from Jessamine.
Mr. Speaker, I move the clincher.
Without objection, clincher is applied. House stand at ease. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Bill 6, 6-7 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for a third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion's made and seconded that House Bill 667 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 667, an act relating to solid waste management service companies. Representative Ballman.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Jefferson, 28, for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Jefferson, 28, for explanation of bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 667 is a cleanup from a bill we passed in 2024 called House Bill 135, which was enacted to protect competitively sensitive business information of private solid waste haulers. These were being compelled from government entities, and we wanted to protect this information that could be used to go into direct competitions with these private waste haulers. Since that time, as this has played out across the city of Louisville and across our Commonwealth, we've seen some loopholes that have allowed contractors and consultants still to get this information, and this bill simply closes those loopholes. Mr. Speaker, I move passage of House Bill 667.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 667. Is there any discussion? Chair recognizes the lady from Jefferson 38 for discussion of the matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield to a question?
He will yield.
Gentlemen, as you mentioned, this is an addition, more further clarifying the language from House Bill 135 from 2024. You briefly touched on the problem that it's trying to solve, but this is obviously unique to solid waste management companies. Can you please share more about what the concerns were, either happening in the city of Louisville or elsewhere, that created the need for this bill?
Gentleman from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The need was the same as it was in 2024, that government entities were compelling private information that was then being used to go into competition with these waste haulers. So the impetus for the new language is the same as it was in 2024.
Lady from Jefferson.
Will he yield to another question?
He will yield.
Gentlemen, would you share what that private business information could be or was in this instance?
Gentleman from Jefferson 28.
Mr. Speaker, this would be information such as client lists and pricing of for customers for these private waste haulers.
Lady from Jefferson 38.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will he yield to another question?
He will yield.
Thank you. Gentlemen, could you share with us if any of these cities or counties have entered into direct competition with a private solid waste management company before House Bill 135 or since the passage of House Bill 135?
Gentleman from Jefferson 28.
Mr. Speaker, I cannot.
Lady from Jefferson 38.
Will he yield to another question?
He will yield.
Gentlemen, what forms or information do these contractors or cities, counties currently have access to that, like where are they getting this information that you're concerned is confidential business information?
Gentleman from Jefferson 28.
Mr. Speaker, today, based on the way the language was written in House Bill 135 from 2024, some of these government entities, some of these waste management boards are hiring consultants and contractors that are using open records requests to compel this information from the private waste haulers.
Lady from Jefferson 38.
Will he yield to another question?
He will yield.
Gentlemen, is there a specific form or data set that they are asking for in these open records requests? Like, where is this information coming from? How is it made available?
Gentleman from Jefferson 28.
Mr. Speaker, they are asking for things such as the client list and pricing for customers of the private waste haulers.
Lady from Jefferson 38.
May I speak on the bill?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So when we passed House Bill 135 I still had confusion about where this information was being attained from. There are protections in place via our state regulations that are submitted to the EPA from a form called DEP 5033 that actually talks about confidential business information not being subjected to being put out by these private solid waste management companies. Also, local solid waste management boards exist to create efficiencies in waste hauling in our local communities. Personally, I would love for my garbage prices to go down. I live on a street in the Old County, the unincorporated urban services, so it's not subjected to urban services district because it's part of the Old County. And what that means is I have one solid waste hauling company, my neighbors have another, and we all get to choose who that is. I don't live in a small city, I don't live in an HOA, so it's kind of just a free-for-all. I would love for a solid waste management board to come figure out how my cost for recycling and garbage could go down, how we could create economies of efficiency, of scale, and actually reduce price for our constituents in these types of areas. However, I am unclear why the bill seeks to carve out one particular industry and limit them to transparency. I don't know how this information is being pulled that would be any different from any other type of business. And what could be pulled? There are already protections in place to protect confidential business information. So I don't understand the problem that was trying to be solved, and I still remain concerned that we're being less transparent, we're letting the public have less transparency, and I'm also concerned that we're creating barriers. Now, it has been said that cities or local jurisdictions seek to be in direct competition with a private waste management company. I've just not found that to be the case. I don't think we've heard anything on the floor today to prove that. And the issue is, I think if I'm speaking from my county, which is Jefferson, the city hasn't entered into something like that in over 20 years, ever since merger. It has not happened. I don't think the city's coming to provide me in the Old County waste management services. I don't pay that tax. I don't think it's coming. And I have had no evidence to prove that it is. So I don't understand the problem that the bill seeks to solve, and I would encourage folks to vote no.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 667. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Means 71 members voting aye, 23 members voting nay. House Bill 667 is passed. Gentleman from Jefferson, 28.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the clincher.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Bill 759 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for a third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage.
Motion is made and seconded that House Bill 759 be taken from its place in the orders of the day, read for the third time by title and sponsor only, and placed upon its passage. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 759, an act relating to teacher certification. Representative Payne.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the gentleman from Henderson for explanation of the bill and motion thereon.
Chair recognizes the gentleman from Henderson for explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The purpose of House Bill 759 is to create consistency and transparency across alternate routes to certification. It creates the same entry points and benchmarks across all alternate routes of certification, which require a minimum of a bachelor's degree. It requires EPSB to publicly post what one can teach based upon their demonstration of that content mastery. It redefines the process to add additional areas of certification with requirements that include minimum classroom teaching requirements or an experience. It does also retain the requirements for candidates to demonstrate mastery of content area and pedagogy through an assessment such as the Praxis prior to receiving their certification. And it replaces the number-based naming of alternate pathways of certification with a naming system. Mr. Speaker, I move passage, if there are no questions, of House Bill 759.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 759. Is there any discussion? Chair recognizes the gentleman from Ohio for discussion of the matter.
Would the sponsor yield to a question?
He will yield.
Gentleman from Henderson, are you the only member in this body that has a curfew when you're in Frankfurt?
Relevance, gentleman from Ohio.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Question before the body is passage of House Bill 759. Clerk will sound the chimes. Those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. Roll call is open for your vote. Have all members voted? Does any member wish to change or explain their vote? Clerk will take the roll. Being 96 members voting aye and no members voting nay, House Bill 759 is passed. Gentleman from Henderson.
Mr. Speaker, I move the clincher.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, that concludes the orders of the day.
Next order of business is motions, petitions, communications, and announcements. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Resolution 87 be taken from the Committee on Committees and brought to the House floor.
Without objection, so ordered. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Bill 757 be taken from the Committee on Appropriations and Revenue, given its first reading, and then returned to the Committee on Appropriations and Revenue.
Without objection, so ordered. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 757 with House Floor Amendment 1, Representative Petrie, an act relating to revenue measures and declaring an emergency.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that House Bill 9 be taken from the Committee on Appropriations and Revenue, given its second reading, and then returned to the Committee on Appropriations and Revenue.
Without objection, so ordered. Clerk, please report.
House Bill 9, Representative Petrie, an act relating to regulated substances and declaring an emergency.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I yield to the lady from Grayson.
Chair recognizes the lady from Grayson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I communicate with the body?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. The Department of War announced the death of a soldier who was supporting Operation Epic Fury. Sergeant Benjamin Pennington, 26, of Glendale, Kentucky, succumbed to his wounds on March 8, 2026, from injuries sustained during an enemy attack on March 1st, 2026, in Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. The soldier was assigned to 1st Space Battalion, 1st Space Brigade in Fort Carson, Colorado. Mr. Speaker, the 18th District lost one of their own in Epic Fury. I saw a quote the other day and I thought it was very fitting for this moment. Freedom doesn't come without a price. We may sometimes take for granted the many liberties we enjoy in America, but they all have been earned through the ultimate sacrifice paid by so many of the members of our armed forces. Mr. Speaker, I would ask all of our members to please pray for Benjamin's father, Tim, his mother, Carrie, and his sister, Mackenzie. I believe that whenever Benjamin arrived in heaven, he was told, "Well done, good and faithful servant." Let this all be a reminder today that everything that happens can happen right at home, and ultimately we are grateful for those who choose the ultimate sacrifice to serve our country. Mr. Speaker, I would ask if the members would please stand for a moment of silence to honor Sergeant Pennington.
Members, please rise for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, last announcement I have would be a reminder to the members that tomorrow is Alzheimer's Awareness Day, and the members are encouraged to wear purple to remember that day. Mr. Speaker, that is all I have for motions, petitions, communications, and announcements.
Chair recognizes the lady from Franklin 57. For what purpose, ma'am?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to act on a legislative resolution.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you please have the clerk report Resolution 87 by title only, please?
Clerk, please report.
House Resolution 87, a resolution recognizing March 8th through the 14th, 2026 as Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Week in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Representative Hancock.
Lady from Franklin.
Mr. Speaker, multiple sclerosis, or MS, is an autoimmune disease in which the body's immune system mistakenly attacks healthy cells in the central nervous system. These attacks damage the protective insulation around our nerves, similar to the insulation around electrical wires. When that insulation is damaged, signals between the brain and body are disrupted. As a result, individuals living with MS may experience a wide and often unpredictable range of symptoms, including numbness, weakness, vision problems, memory challenges, and mobility issues. For some, symptoms come and go with treatment. For others, the disease progresses over time with worsening effects. There is currently no cure, and those diagnosed will live with MS for life. MS most often strikes adults between the ages of 20 and 50, right in the middle of their working and family-building years. Research continues to search for causes, better treatments, prevention, and ultimately a cure. The National Multiple Sclerosis Society plays a critical role in advancing this research while also supporting patients and caregivers navigating this disease every day. Please join me in recognizing this week, National MS Awareness Week, and many MS warriors across the Commonwealth and beyond who continue to fight for a world free of MS. I move for the adoption of House Resolution 87.
Without objection, so ordered. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Pulaski. For what purpose, sir?
To make an announcement?
Yes, sir.
Post-secondary education will not meet tomorrow morning.
Members take note. Chair recognizes the lady from Callaway. For what purpose, ma'am?
To make an announcement,
Yes, ma'am.
Transportation Committee will meet tomorrow at 10 a.m. at 149.
Members take note. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Johnson. For what purpose, sir?
Communicate with the body.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. VMAP will be meeting tomorrow at 9 o'clock. We have 4 bills to consider. Be prompt. Room 169. Thank you.
Chair recognizes the lady from Fayette 93. For what purpose, ma'am?
Communicate with the body.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Today I'd like to share another women's history moment, and this is one that I remember well. Mary T. Maher is one of the greatest athletes in Kentucky history and definitely a defining figure in American Olympic swimming. She was born in Louisville and raised in Bowling Green, and she developed her talent in Kentucky, training with Lakeside Swim Club. And if anybody has swam at Lakeside, you know what an amazing place it is. She also proved that Kentucky can produce world-class competitors. Known to the world as Madam Butterfly, Maher dominated the butterfly stroke, setting world records that redefined the event and stood for nearly 2 decades. Her historic performances at the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, were where she won 3 gold medals, cemented her place among the sport's all-time greats. Maher's legacy extends well beyond medals and records. She set a new standard for excellence in women's swimming and remains a powerful symbol of Kentucky's ability to shape athletes who compete and win on the world stage. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
To recognize the gentleman from Rockcastle. For what purpose, sir?
Make an announcement.
Yes, sir.
Members of the Appropriations and Revenue Committee, we will be meeting tomorrow at noon in room 154, and there are 8 bills on the agenda.
Members take note. To recognize the lady from Fayette 75. For what purpose, ma'am?
To communicate with the body.
Yes, ma'am.
It is my distinct pleasure to observe a member of the Democratic Caucus's birthday. Would you please join me in celebrating the lady from Jefferson 35?
Chair recognizes the lady from Shelby. For what purpose, ma'am?
Make an announcement.
Yes, ma'am.
The Judiciary Committee will meet in the morning at 10 a.m. in room 149. Thank you.
Members take note. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Carter. For what purpose, sir?
To make an announcement.
Yes, sir.
Local government will meet tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. 9 a.m.
Members take note. Any other member seeking recognition of motions, petitions, communications, and announcements? Seeing none, next order of business is introduction of new resolutions. Clerk, please report.
House Concurrent Resolution 117, Representative Stevenson, a concurrent resolution relating to the establishment of a beauty industry law task force to complete a detailed review of the current laws to ensure alignment throughout the relevant statutes and administrative regulations. And House Resolution 118, Representative Pfister, a resolution urging federal policymakers to adopt a uniform definition of ultra-processed food.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next order of business is meeting of Committee on Committees and Rules Committee. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, the House would be in recess for a meeting of the Committee on Committees and the Rules Committee at the clerk's desk.
Without objection, the House shall stand in recess for a meeting of Committee on Committees and Rules Committee at the clerk's desk. House come to order. Next order of business, report of Committee on Committees and Rules Committee. Clerk, please report.
The Committee on Committees has met and referred the following bills and resolutions to Agriculture, Senate Bill 199 and House Bill 792. To Appropriations and Revenue, House Bills 787 and 801. To Banking and Insurance, Senate Bill 183 and House Bills 794, 804, 805, 806, 807, and 822. To Economic Development and Workforce Investment, House Bills 795, 796, 797, 798, 813, and 814. Also 819. To Elections, Constitutional Amendments, and Intergovernmental Affairs, House Bills 799 and 812. To Families and Children, House Bill 815. To Health Services, House Bills 788 and 811. To the Judiciary, Senate Bill 170 and House Bills 817, 889, and House Joint Resolution 90. To Licensing, Occupations, and Administrative Regulations, House Bills 818 and 885. To Local Government, House Bills 802, 803, and 808. To Post-Secondary Education, House Bill 790. To Primary and Secondary Education, Senate Bills 46, 71, Senate Bill 101 with House Floor Amendment 1, and House Bills 789, 791, 820, and House Joint Resolution 88. To Small Business and Information Technology, House Bills 809 and 810. To Transportation, Senate Bill 28 and House Bill 821, House Joint Resolutions 89 and 92. And to Veterans and Military Affairs and Public Protection, House Bill 793. The Rules Committee has met and posted the following bills and resolutions to the regular orders for Tuesday, March 10th, 2026. House Bills 273, 380, 468, 621, 654, 727, 774, and 776.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next order of business is introduction of floor amendments. Please report.
House Floor Amendment 9 to House Bill 227 with House Committee Substitute 1, Representative Grossell. House Floor Amendment 1 to House Bill 576 with House Committee Substitute 1, Representative Duvall. House Floor Amendment 2 to House Bill 576 with House Committee Substitute 1, Representative Rudy. House Floor Amendment 2 to House Bill 757, Representative Burke. House Floor Amendment 3 to House Bill 757, Representative Burke. House Floor Amendment 4 to House Bill 757, Representative Burke. And House Floor Amendment 5 to House Bill 757, Representative Burke.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Next order of business is adjournment. Gentleman from McCracken.
Mr. Speaker, I need to also, before I adjourn, correct the record to say that House Judiciary will not be meeting tomorrow. They will be meeting Wednesday at their normal time.
Members take note.
Mr. Speaker, I move you, sir, that the House will stand adjourned until 2 p.m. Tuesday, March 10, the year of our Lord, 2026.
Without objection, the House will stand adjourned until 2 p.m. Tuesday, March 10th, the year of our Lord,